Okay, so I'm going to do the 8th of November 2021 non-calculator paper. So we start off pretty straightforward anyway. Total angles in a triangle is 180. So it's simply just going to be 180 minus 90 minus 37. So the answer to this one here is going to be 53 degrees. Then on the second one, you need to work out what the size of angle A and B is. Well, the first thing is that the quadrilateral adds up to 360 degrees. This here is an angle on a straight line, and all angles in a straight line add up to 180. So to work out A, it's 180 minus 129 degrees, which is going to be 51 degrees. So we know that A is 51. Now all I need to do is subtract 82, 153, and 51 away from 360, and that will leave me with my final answer, okay? So that's going to be 360 minus 82, 153, and 51. And if you put that on a calculator, you should get 70. Oh, sorry, I just realized it's a non-calculated paper. Okay, but I mean, you can work your own strategies out for that anyway. So the answer is going to be 74 degrees. Okay, moving on. Circle the correct answer to each statement. Okay, 1/3 of 1/3. Now, the word of means times. So 1/3 times 1/3 equals 1/9. And then on the next one, it's 0.02 times 0.8. You've got to choose which one is correct here. I mean, it's a number of ways you can do this, but what I would do if you want to do this way actually is change this to a 2, change that to an 8. So I had to multiply that by 10 to get one place, to get an 8. And twice to get 2. So 2 times 8 is 16. Now I moved it all together a total of 3 times. So now I need to go back 3 times. So 16, 1, 2, 3. So the answer is going to be 0.016. So that's the correct answer there. 1.5% can be written as, and then you've got to choose which one this is going to be. So the answer to that is going to be 0.015. And just very quickly, 1 is, sorry, I'll do that again. 1% is 0.01. 2% is 0.02. 3.5% is 0.035. So that's how these work, okay? Calculate the value of 2/5 times 1/4, but they want the answer in its simplest form. Now, what I could do, if I sum this in, is cancel the corners. So just follow the line of the multiplication. The 2 goes with the 4, 2 goes into 2 ones, and into 4 twice. 1 and 2 can't cancel, and the other way, 1 and 5 can't cancel. And then multiply out, you simply just do 1 times 1 is 1, 5 times 2 is 10. So the answer is 1/10, or 0.1, whichever one you want to do. So I'll say that again, you just multiply across, okay? So 2 times 1, and then 5 times 4. Right then, calculate the value of 3 cubed divided by 2 squared. Well, 3 cubed basically means 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. divided by 2 squared, which is 2 times 2, which is 4. So what you need to work out is what is 27 divided by 4 effectively, okay? Now, what I would do, if you're not sure of this, just use what I call the bus stop method. You know that 4 goes into 27, a total of 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. There's a remainder of 3 over 4. Always over this here, okay? And of course, 3/4 is 0.75. So the answer to this is going to be 6 for the 6, 0.75. There you go. A cuboid is effectively a rectangular cube. Obviously not drawn to scale, but just to give you the idea. To work out the volume of any cube or cuboid, just multiply the numbers together. Now what I would do is I would multiply the 2 by the 5 first. Why? Because then it will just give you 10 times 3, which is going to be 30. But any method would use for that, okay? It's up to you which order you want to go in. Now calculate the total surface area of the cuboid. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sketch this again. Just a rough sketch. I'm going to put 5 there, I'm going to put 2 there, I'm going to put 3 there. But also what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in these hidden sides here. So you need to visualize that there's going to be 2 of everything. So there's 2 end pieces. And the dimension of the end pieces is going to be 3 times 2. So 2 times 3 is 6, but I'm going to times it by 2 because there's 2 of them, which gives me 12 centimeter squared. And then the next one is going to be the side pieces on the side here. So it's going to be 3 times 5. So 3 times 5, which is 15, times 2, which is 30 centimeter squared. Now the final one is going to be the top and the bottom. So if you're looking down on the shape, okay, and that's going to be 2 times 5. So 2 times 5, 2 times 5 is 10 times 2, because there's 2 of them, gives me 20 centimeter squared. So the total now is just going to be all of these added together, which is going to give you 62 centimeter squared. So the answer is 62 centimeter squared. A number n is added to the square root of 81. The answer is equal to 7 squared. What is the value of n? Okay, so a number n is added to the square root of 81, which is 9. Now, if you're not sure, what they mean by your square root is this. 1 times 1 equals 1. So the square root of 1 is 1 because it was 1 times 1 that gave me 1. 2 times 2 is 4. So the square root of 4 is 2 because 2 times 2 gave me 4. So 81, the square root of 81 is 9 because 9 times 9 is 81. The answer is equal to 7 squared. And of course, 7 squared is actually 49. So what do you add to 9 to get 49? And the answer is 40. Okay, so in this question here, you get answers for accuracy and the way you write things out. So basically it's a game, and the game is made up of, some letters are made up using straight lines, like an A or a T, for example, even though there's no T here. N is another straight line one. Some letters are made using straight lines and curved, so B. And some letters are made using only curved lines, like the letter S, but there is no S here, okay? Oh, sorry, but there is an O, so that's an example of that. Right, here we go. In a game, the 6 cards are placed in a bag. 1 card is chosen at random. The letter on the card is noted and the card is returned to the bag. If the card has a letter on it that is made using only straight lines, the player gains 10 points. Now there's only 2 cards with straight lines. There's that one there, and there's that one there. So there's 2 of them in total out of 6. So you've got 2 of them out of a possible of 6, which is 1/3. So you get 10 points for every time you do this, okay? So Lee plays the game 24 times. Do you expect her to score a total of 100 points? So the game is played 24 times. So 1/3 times 24 is equal to 8. Or 24 divided by 3, okay? Gives you 8. If you get 10 points for every time you win, and we're only expecting it to happen 8 times, then 8 times 10 is 80 points. The question is asking, do you expect Leah to score a total of 100 points? And then, therefore, the answer to this is going to be no, she won't. Okay, so question 7. Now, question 7 are parallel lines and angles. So just a reminder, just very quickly, parallel lines, commonly known as the Z angle or the alternating angle, that is the same as that. In this case, that is the same as that. There's also another one called a corresponding angle. So that is the same as that. We also refer to this as the F angle because of the letter F. We also refer to this one here as the Z angle because obviously it makes the Z shape here, okay? Where this one here is the corresponding. Okay, so let's just answer the question anyway. We know that this is equal to this because it's a Z angle, because it's parallel lines. So basically all you're going to do is grab that 4x plus 5, make it equal to 57. So 4x is equal to 57, subtract 5. So 4x is equal to 52, and x is equal to 52 divided by 4. Again, use the best stop if you're not sure. 4 into 5 goes once, carry 1, and 4 into 12 goes 3 times, so the answer is 13. So the value of x is 13. Question 8. Write down 4 positive whole numbers in the boxes below so that the range is 6, biggest takeaway smallest is 6, the mean is 5, and the median is 4, so the middle is 4. Okay, so let's just think of numbers first of all. Well, I want something with a difference of 6. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put 3 there and I'm going to put 9 there. Now the other thing you've got to remember is it's got a mean of 5. So when you've added them all together and divided it by 4, because there's 4 numbers, the answer is 5. So 4 times 5 is equal to 20. So we know that all of these here must add up to 20. So 9 at 3 is 12. So 20 take away 12 is 8. So I know that these two numbers here must add up to 8. So we need two numbers there that add up to 8. But we know that the median is 4. So what they mean by that is this, that these two numbers here, because it has a median of these two numbers, they must add up to 8. And when divided by 2, the answer is going to be 4. Well, 8 divided by 2 is 4. So that number there must be 4. And that number there must also be 4. Now, I'm pretty sure, an alternative answer, I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure there might be another answer, could also be, we know that these two numbers here had to add up to 8. It could also therefore have been 3 and 5, but it doesn't matter where you put the, I think the order would have been irrelevant for that anyway. But as long as you've got 3359 or 3449, then all of these conditions have been met. Oh, sorry, I just realized something. Yeah, the median is 4. So therefore, it has to be written in the order of 3359. Because when you do the median of any set of numbers, it's got to be biggest to smallest. Okay, express 54 miles as a percentage of 300 miles. Well, think of percentages out of 100. So if you divide that by 3, to get 100, you divide that by 3. So 54 over 300 is something over 100, okay? So 54 divided by 3, 3 goes into 5, 1s carry 2, 3 goes into 24, 8 times, so the answer is 18 over 100. And then again, sorry guys, I just realized I want it as a percentage. That's 18%. Just a quick reminder, when you do fractions and percentages, so for example, 3 over 100 is 3%. 22 over 100 is 22%. And so on, and so on, and so on, okay? And then B, a car travels 100 miles in 2.5 minutes. Sorry, 2 hours and 30 minutes. Okay, so distance, speed, and time. Right, we know the distance is 100, and we know the time taken is that. They want the average speed. So it's distance divided by time to get the speed. But don't forget, on distance, speed, and time, if you think of a clock, 15 minutes is 0.25, 30 minutes is 0.5, and 45 minutes is 0.75. So what you've now got to do is you've got to do 100 divided by 2.5. Now what I would do here is just simply this. It's harder to do 100 divided by 2.5 because of this 0.5 business, okay? So I'm going to change this. I'm going to multiply that by 10 to give me 25. But if what I do to one side, I must do to the other when you're dividing. So I need to add another 0 therefore to this side here. So basically what I'm going to work out is 1,000 divided by 25. Now it becomes much easier to work out because look, 25 goes into 100 4 times. Then just bring up the 0 and the answer is 40. And that's the answer to the question there, okay? So it's going to be 40 miles per hour. Question 10, a nice little ratio question. We know it all adds up to 180 degrees, and you've already got 25 here. So 180 minus 25 equals 155. So what you need to do now is you've got to work these two missing angles out in the ratio of 2 to 3. So what we are going to do is we'll do 155. Just excuse me 1 minute while I just refresh this, guys. It does this sometimes, just the computer freezes up. It's a bit annoying. There we go. Okay. So we need to work it out in the ratio of 2 to 3. So add up the ratio, 2 and 3, gives me 5. We know the remaining angles must add up to 155 because we've already got 25. So 155 divided by 5, 5, 1, 5, 5, 5 into 15 goes 3, 5 into 5 goes 1, so the answer is 31. So what we need to do now is we do 2 times 31, which is 62, and 3 times 31, which is 93. So we know A is going to be equal to 62, and B is equal to 63. 62 and 93, sorry. There you go, okay? So don't forget the order of the letters, A, B, is in the order of the ratio, A, B, 2 to 3. Write down lowest common multiple. Okay, so there's 2 ways you can do this. You could just keep on adding 60 each time, adding 72 each time, until you get the first number which appears in both. Or you can use a tree diagram method. It's completely up to you how you do this. I'll do it this way though. 60, another 60, another 60, another 60. Do one more, and one more for luck. Now do the same for 72. 72 plus another 72, 144. Plus another 72, so that's going to be 200, so 144 plus 72 is 146, which is going to be 216, 288, and then finally 360. Now I say finally because I know now that the answer is going to be 360 because it's the first number which appears in both sets of numbers, okay? Don't forget, the lowest common multiple is always going to be the bigger answer. It's what they can go into. A factor is what makes up a number, so they tend to be smaller answers. So just be careful with what you're actually looking for, okay? So 360 is the answer there. I'm going to write down the prime numbers now. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. There is more, but I think that should be enough. Right, you ready? 882 broken down into its prime factors. It's an even number, so always start with the number 2. Again, this is my method, okay, guys, so some of you might have a different way. 2 goes into that 441 times. 2 can't go into that now because it's an odd number, but 3 can go into that. 3 into 4 goes ones, carry 1. 3 into 14 goes 4, carry 2. 3 into 21 goes 7. So we know 3 goes in 147 times. I also know that 3 can go into this again. And in case you're wondering, well, how do I know the 3 can go into these numbers? If you add the numbers up, so 4 plus 4 plus 1, the answer is 9. That's in the 3 times table. 1 plus 4 plus 7 is 12. That's in the 3 times table. So I know the 3 can go into these numbers. 4, 7, 3. 3 goes into 14 4 times, carry 2, and 3 into 27 9 times. So the answer is 49. And I know that 7 can go into 49 7 times. Now I like to end like this, 7 into 7 once. And of course, when you reach 1, you stop. So what's my answer? Well, it's everything you've circled. So there's 1, 2, 2 3s, 2 7s. And that's the answer. Question 12. So it's where you have to draw the graph. So don't forget, it's an x squared. So this is going to be a curved graph. But because it's a minus x squared, it's going to be an upside down shape. So all you need to do is plug these numbers, that one, into there to get your answer. So first one, I'll start with the 3 to get the positive value out of the way. So 7 minus 3 squared. So 7 minus 9, the answer is negative 2. My next one, I'm going to put in minus 1. So 7 minus 1 squared. Well, minus 1 squared is 1. Negative times a negative is positive. So 7 take away 1, the answer is 6. Now you just plot the coordinates, minus 2, 3. Oh, it's one of these horrible graphs, right then. So they're going up like this, 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? 1, 2, 3, minus 2. Oh, sorry, I'm being dumb. I apologize. It's the other way. It's minus 2, 3. Let me just zoom out a bit more. There we go. Minus 2, 3. So I need to go up a bit. I thought it was minus 3, sorry. 1, 1, 2, 3. X. Minus 1, 6. Minus 1, 6. 0, 7. 0, 7. 5, 6. 1, 6. So 1, 6. 2, 3. 3 minus 2. And then finally 4 minus 9. And there you go. Freehand now, please. Just nice and easy. Come around. There you go. Okay, so that's your curve done there. Right then, calculate the total perimeter of a semicircle of radius 4. Okay, so let's do a quick recap. If you want to do the area of a circle, it's pi r squared. If you want to do the circumference of a circle, I like using pi times diameter. But I want a semicircle, so it would effectively be pi times a diameter divided by 2. So basically, all I've got to do really is to work out the semicircle. I know the radius is 4, so all I've got to do is pi times 4. But pi, obviously it's non-calculator, is to be taken as 3.14. So let's do that. So it's going to be 3.14 times 4. If you just work that one out. 3.14 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Carry 1. 1 times 4 is 4 plus 1 is 5. And then 3 times 4 is 12. So the answer is 12.56. Plus, that gives me the answer to this. I don't need to have this because I used the radius, didn't I? You see, if you were to do the perimeter of a full circle, you would have used the diameter. But because I only want a semicircle, I have to divide by 2. So it's the same as just saying 3.14 times 4. Then I just need to add on this diameter here, which is 8 in total, okay? So plus 8, and the answer is going to be 20.56 centimeters. Okay, so making something the subject of the formula. Right, it's a game. The game is, I want that one there to be on its own. So how do I get that on its own? So basically we're going to move everything away, do the opposite, okay? So first of all, I'm going to get rid of this plus 2. So by subtracting 2. So effectively, if I subtract 2 from both sides, you're going to get P minus 2 is equal to 3K. I want K to be on its own. That's what they mean by make K the subject. So my final answer is going to be K is equal to something, okay? Well, all I've got left now with the K is the 3. The 3K means 3 times K, and the opposite of times is to divide. So do the inverse, which is to divide. So K is equal to P minus 2 divided by 3. Now then, interesting question coming up here, which probably doesn't come up as often. Well, not this style anyway. But does the midpoint of the straight line joining points 315, 719 lie on the line y is equal to 3x plus 2? So let me start off first of all quickly by just explaining to you what I mean by a midpoint. So imagine you just have 2 coordinates here. In this case, 315 and 719. So there's 2 coordinates. They want you to find the midpoint first of all. So how do you find the midpoint between 2 points? Well, it's quite easy to do actually. So x, y, x, y. So the trigger for this question is as soon as you see that word midpoint. To do the midpoint, you simply do this. You add up the x's together. So 3 plus 7 divided by 2. Then you add up the y's together. 15 plus 19 divided by 2. We divided by 2 because you're looking for the halfway point, midpoint. Let's tidy it all up. 10 divided by 2. 34 divided by 2. Divided by 2 simply means halving the number. So the midpoint is 517. Now the question is this. Does that point lie on a line, which is, let's say this line is going through there? Does that point 517 lie on this line here? That's what the question is asking. Well, if I rewrite this equation now, y is equal to 3x plus 2. There's my x coordinate, there's my y coordinates. If a point lies on a line, sorry, I'll say that again. If a point lies on a line and you substitute a point into an equation, the answer will be the same on both sides, okay? So, y in this case is 17. X in this case is 5. So 3 times 5 plus 2. So 17. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 2 is 17. Well, look, they They're equal to each other. So there you go. You've done that, okay? It does work. So you just say yes. So all you do is you plug it in and both sides have got to be the same. Okay, nearly at the end of the paper, express 0.058 in standard form. Again, the simplistic way of doing this, just do, well, it's got to be an answer greater than 1. So 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be 5.8 times 10 to the power of negative 3, because I went from a decimal to a number greater than 1, okay? And then WJC love asking this next one, which is give the value of something in standard form, especially on the non-calculator paper. So 1.4 divided by 2. Well, half of 1.4 is 0.7. So 1.4 divided by 2 is 0.7. 10 to the power of 9 divided by 10 to the power of 3. Right, when you divide powers with the same base, if it's a divide question, you simply subtract the powers. So 9 take away 3 is 6. So it's 0.7 times 10 to the power of 6. This is not your final answer though. This is why it's worth 2 marks. A lot of students would leave that as that. They probably only get 1 mark, okay? You can't have standard form with that number. It's got to be greater than 1. So I move that decimal place 1 place, which means that I have to take this power down by 1. So the answer is going to be 7 times 10 to the power of 5. Can I come back to this for 1 minute, please? This division question here. It's a bit like doing indices. X to the power of 4 divided by x to the power of 2. The answer is going to be x to the power of 2, because 4 take away 2 is 2. And if you want a visual thing, just very quickly, x to the 4 means x times x times x times x divided by x squared, x times x. There's 2 x's there, cancel off. I've got 2 of them left, which is x squared, and hence the reason why this works, okay? 16, we're nearly there, guys. The probability question, which is so common. You've just got to fill everything in. You know where this goes. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just fill in the table first of all, okay? Everything's got to add up to 1, obviously. So 0.3, 0.25 is 0.55, so that's 0.45 there. Now, the probability of choosing a person who is under 18 years old is 0.2. So it's going to be 0.2 for that one, 0.8, 0.2, 0.8, 0.2, 0.8. So that's that filled in there for you. So what is the probability of choosing a person who lives in South Wales and is under 18? So South Wales is that route, and under 18 is that path there. So the word "and" obviously is times. So to work this, it's 0.45 times 0.2. Now, how I would do this, I would just change that to 2. You move that once. Change that to 45. You move that twice. So 2 times 45 is equal to 90. So if you put 90 there now, and we need to come back a total of 3. 1, 2, 3. decimal point is there, fill in the zeros, so the answer is 0.09. And then finally, the last question, believe it or not, it's a hidden simultaneous equation. It's an isosceles triangle. Therefore, if that is 2x, that must also be 2x. This is a square, so therefore that must be equal to that. That is all the information you need to form the simultaneous equation. Okay, so we know that the perimeter of this triangle is 19. So 2x plus 2x plus 3y. So 2x plus 2x is 4x plus 3y is equal to 19. Then we know that the square 6x minus y is equal to 12. Now what we need to do is just use simultaneous equations. Okay, so again, this is my preferred method. I like to get the middle the same. Ignore the signs when you do the multiplications, okay? So the bottom, I multiply the top line by the middle y's. So I'm going to multiply the top here by 1y. So, but if I multiply the top line by 1, it's the same answer. So it's 4x plus 3y equals 19. So I'm now going to multiply this bottom line by the top middle number, which is 3. So 3 times 6 is 18x. 3 times 1 is 3, so minus 3y. 3 times 12 is 36. USA. Always think United States of America. Why? Because in simultaneous equations, unlike signs, add. Unlike signs, so we add them together. This has to be the case because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to eliminate the middle. And the middle will now be eliminated. Just watch this. 18 plus 4 is 22. 3 plus minus 3. Well, that's 3 take away 3 is nothing. 19 plus 36 is 55. So x is equal to 55. No, hang on. I'll tell you what I'm going to do actually. I'm going to simplify these. 11 can go into both of these twice. So if I can make that smaller, 2x is equal to 5. So x is equal to 5 divided by 2. So x is equal to 2.5. So I know x is going to be 2.5. So the question is, what's y going to be? Well, all I now need to do is plug 2.5 into any of these equations up here. I'm going to put it there, okay? So it's going to be 4 times 2.5. It's 4 times x, but I'm going to call it 4 times 2.5. So 4 times 2 is 8, and a half of 4 is 2. 8 plus 2 is 10. So it's 10 plus 3y equals 19. Now rearrange this for y. So 19 minus 10, which is 9. So y is equal to 9 divided by 3, because the 3 is multiplying the y. And the final answer is going to be 3. And there we go. That's the end of the paper.